Nanach, nachmu, nanach, nachman. meuman to tell 12 the prayer leader. I tell once there was a prayer leader, Baltfila, literally master of prayer, or prayer man, also denoting a person appointed to lead a prayer service, who was always involved only with prayers and songs and praises to Hashem Yisbarach, to the blessed Creator. And he dwelled outside of settled areas. And his schedule was he would regularly go into the settled areas, and he would enter in to conversation with some person. Typically he would converse with lowly people such as poor people and so forth, and he would begin to talk. And he would begin to talk with the people heart to heart regarding the purpose of the whole world, that in truth there is no purpose at all in the world aside from serving God all the days of one's life. Nanach, nachman, meuman, and one should spend the years, only with prayer to Hashem Yisbarach, and with songs and praises to Hashem Yisbarach, etc. And he would speak very much with the people, such words of awakening, until his words would enter into someone's heart, until the person would be willing to join him. And as soon as the person agreed with him, he would immediately take him and bring him to his place. And as soon as the person agreed with him, he would immediately take him and bring him to his place, which he had outside the settled areas, because this prayer leader had chosen for himself a place outside the settled areas, and there was a river and trees, and fruits were also there, and they would eat from the fruits. And regarding clothes, he was not stringent at all, and they would eat from the fruits. And regarding clothes, he was not stringent at all. And so was the schedule of the prayer leader always, that he would go all around in the settled areas, and he would always speak with people that they should serve God in this manner, that they should only perform devotions to Hashem Yisbarach, they should only be involved with prayers, etc. And whoever listened to him, he would take him. He would take him, and he would bring him to his place outside the settled areas as mentioned, and there they would be involved only with prayers and songs and praises to Hashem Yisbarach, and confessions and fasts and mortifications and repentance and the like. And the prayer leader would give them his compendiums, books that he had of prayers and songs and praises and confessions, that he had of prayers and songs and praises and confessions, and they would be involved with them constantly, until he would find among his people that he brought there such ones as were also able to bring people to Hashem Yisbarach. He would sometimes give permission to one of his people that he should always go into the settled area, that he should also go into the settled areas and should awaken people to the Almighty, to the of Almighty, that they should only perform devotions to Hashem Yisbarach. And the prayer leader was always involved in this matter, and would each time attract his people, and would take them out from the settled areas as mentioned, until an impression was made in the world, and the thing began to be known. For suddenly people would escape from the country, and their whereabouts were unknown. Someone would lose his son, etc. And where they were was unknown, and where they were was unknown until it became known that it is because the prayer leader would go and talk people into devotion to Hashem Yisburach. But it was impossible to recognize him and seize him because the prayer leader would conduct himself with much wisdom and would change himself with each person in a different way. With one person, he would make himself appear as a poor person, and with another as a trader, etc. Also, when he would come to talk to people, when he would see that he could not accomplish with him his intention, he would confuse him with much talk until they did not understand at all his good intention, and as if that was not at all his intention, to draw them to Hashem Yisburach, even though in truth his whole main intention in talking to people was only this, to draw them to Hashem Yisburach. For his whole intention was only this. Only when he understood that he could not influence them, he would turn him and bend him and deceive him until he could not at all understand his good intention, and the prayer leader would be involved in this thing until an impression and fame was made in the world, and they wanted to seize him, but they could not, as mentioned, and the prayer leader with his people would sit outside the settled areas and would be involved only with prayer and songs and praises, only with prayer and songs and praises to Hashem Yisburach, and confessions and fasts and mortifications and repentances, as mentioned. And the matter of the prayer leader was he could suffice, he give to each person what he needed, and if and the prayer leader with his people would sit outside the settled areas and would be involved only with prayer and songs and praises to Hashem Yisburach, and confessions and fasts and mortifications and repentances, as mentioned. And the matter of the prayer leader was he could suffice, he give to each person what he needed, and if he understood that one of his people, according to his brain, needed for his service of Hashem, then he should go dressed in gold clothes, with it, which they called gilding gishtek. He would provide him, and vice versa, when sometimes some rich person would draw close to him, and he would remove him from the settled areas as mentioned, and he would understand that this rich person needed to go in torn and despicable clothing. He would lead him so, all according to what he knew of the required needs of each and every one. He would provide him with these people whom he drew close to Hashem Yisburach, a big fast or mortification, and was more precious than all the delights in the world, because they had delight from the great mortification, or from the fast more than from all the delights in the world. From all the delights in the world. And the day came to pass, and there was a country that had great riches there. They were all rich. Only their way and conduct was very strange and odd, because everything was conducted with them according to their riches. Everyone's value and everyone's honor was only according to his riches. For whoever had so many thousands or millions had a certain class, and whoever had so much money had another class, etc. The whole order of classes was with them according to the money of each and every person. And whoever had so many thousands or myriads, according to the amount that was determined by them, was king. And likewise they had banners. And whoever had so much money was in this banner, and had the class and the status in that banner. And whoever had so much money was in another banner. Amen. Amen.